Alright, hi everyone, welcome to today's video. On this is being recorded, it is Saturday, June 21st, 2025. It's just not. Bye. I went out the other entrance. No. Nope, I'm off this weekend. Yep, you too. But yeah, it's a little after 6 in the morning. And yeah, as you heard there, I'm off this weekend, which is nice because I'm kind of scared of how my paycheck's going to be for this current pay period that ends at midnight tonight. But whatever. It kind of sucks that I pretty much walked to work, and I'm walking home from work, which is kind of whatever. Today's the not winter solstice. It's the summer solstice. Oh my god. So, yeah, meaning that today is the first day of summer, officially. And it's also the longest day in terms of daylight of the year. So I was expecting to get picked up in the morning by mom, but from what she texted me at around 2:30 is that Katrina's boyfriend apparently got into a bad accident down in Columbus, so she took the car and went down there to go see him or whatever. So I'm assuming mom has the boys. But also, another thing I just thought of, this weekend is, what is this weekend? This weekend is the reunion in Upper Sandusky. So, as far as I know, mom still needs to go to the store and get stuff for that. Now, my question will become, am I going to screw up my sleeping schedule just so that way I can be able to go to it? Because I go to the family reunion every year, except for a few occasions, whether it be at summer camp or COVID. But yeah, I try to go every year, and it is something I do look forward to every year. Play some bingo, maybe go swimming, and there's also the that fishing competition that they have at the park in Upper Sandusky every year that we go to. Now, Mom always gets chicken nuggets, like frozen chicken nuggets, and gets a thing of frozen Stouffer's mac and cheese. But I told her this year to get some of the artisan mac and cheese that they have at work. That shit is good. It's probably the best mac and cheese that you probably ever had. I mean, I figured that it would probably be from GFS. Like, all the food that the hospital gets is more than likely from GFS, which is also where the schools get, you know, their food for like breakfast and lunch and all that stuff, you know, outside of the actual like vendors. But yeah, it's definitely something that I look forward to. But unfortunately, since I'm on nights now, I never know when they actually have the good mac and cheese. Because, you know, by the time they're done serving hot food, I'm kind of getting myself ready to you know, get ready for the night. Because they serve breakfast from 6:30 to, I think, 11 or something like that. And then they serve lunch from like 11:30 to like 2. And then they serve dinner or supper or whatever at, well, from 4:30 to 7. Because if I still had my schedule, my 11:30 to 8 schedule, which apparently someone has finally filled that spot. Yeah, someone has finally filled that spot, and it's someone in housekeeping, which means now there will be 2 vacancies in housekeeping and only 1 vacancy in transport. But anyways, when I get there at 11:30, mostly, that's when they're just now starting to serve lunch. So, yeah. I mean, sometimes I do miss seeing all the daytime nurses and daytime PSAs, because it definitely took me a while to learn all their names. But outside of radiology and ED, and maybe one North, I don't know anybody on night shift. Nobody. I'm better with faces than names. Like, oh, hey, you. I recognize you. You know, that kind of thing. I mean, there are a few people of either a nurse or a PSA that I know on other floors. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, when it comes to like night shift nurses and PSAs, I know the vast majority of all of them I know are in the ER. And sometimes they don't have that many people over in 1 North. Like these last couple of weeks, they've had no one. But yeah. When it comes to, of my people, technically, you know, I have my transport people. I only see I really only see the 5:30 people. And maybe the other 9:30 person, but only if there's there's hours for me to cover for the 5:30 shift. I tried covering for the 11:30 shift, and being on nights, like, oh my god, I was like dead, because I was trying to figure out, like, okay, when I get off and get home towards 8:30, am I going to kind of power through to at least most of the night, or am I going to take a short little power nap at least until like 9:30? And I think I powered through the night at least until about 4 or 5 in the morning. And I was like, okay, I'm pooped, I'm calling it. But then, you know, I got up at like probably close to noon or 1 o'clock. So, you know, oh god. But yeah. Honestly, as long as I can. Well, see, here's the thing. On day shift transport, you're going to be doing stuff all over the place. You're going to have transports going all over the place too, so you're going to be going all over. However, the later the day is, it depends on what other kind of transports that you can be able to get. Honestly, if you come in and clock in to work anytime during the AM hours, so anytime between now and like before noon, so really the 6 a.m., the 7 a.m., the 8 a.m., or the 11:30, you're going to be doing stuff all over the place, like going to and from stuff that areas that are going to be more or less in session 4, whether it be surgery or dialysis or maybe like the cancer center, or, you know, that kind of thing. The 5:30 shift, that's the shift that kind of starts to, that it's going to start closing down to some extent. And yeah, they just decide that, hey, we're gonna close down for the night and we'll reopen back in the morning, you know, kind of thing. I think half of that shift is, it's like, ooh, almost slipped on mud. It's like half what's the word I'm looking for? it's either like half in-house stuff and the other half like imaging or admits. The 9/3 shift, it almost all revolves around the ER and imaging, either x-rays, CAT scans, or ultrasounds. But also depending on who is in each of those will depend on how they want it done, or if they're gonna come and get them, or vice versa, or whatever. So, yeah. So, this check that I just approved is going to kind of be kind of bad, but I'm kind of curious on how bad it's going to be. I don't need to do any kind of like grocery shopping at all, because I did all that last check. Because I did that last weekend. Thank God I did. So I'm good on groceries for at least a month. Usually I buy a month's worth of groceries, and then I of course have to make sure I spend some money at Taco Bell or, you know, whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. Hello, black squirrels. Oh, there's like 3 of you. Oh, 4. 5. That's a lot of you guys. I've never seen a bunch of black squirrels all in the same area. Usually when it comes to squirrels, the 2 main kind of squirrels I see all the time are gray squirrels and the occasional black squirrel. I don't see red squirrels or fox squirrels. If I was in a really heavily wooded area, then maybe I would. But other than that, just gray squirrels and black squirrels. But, you know, you also see if you have a decent backyard, like, you know, everyone else does, or damn near everyone else. You're gonna see a couple occasional, you know, birds and maybe 1 or 2 squirrels in your backyard. But, you know, also depends on what kind of yard you got and how big it is, and if you got like woods or anything of that sort. But yeah. So if I were to mess up my sleep schedule just that way I can Okay. Mom texted me. She just texted me a question I literally texted her and asked her about maybe an hour ago. So that's why I figured do I have my keys? Okay. I had to make sure I have my keys, because I'm not going to ring the doorbell at 7 in the morning, because I'm not going to get the kids up. If mom even has a kid, which more than likely she probably does. Okay. When's my next shower day? Technically it would be tomorrow. See, here's the thing. I originally had a different shirt on than this when I, made it to work. But I was smart to at least pack another shirt, because I knew I was going to be walking. And I just got another shirt, that way I can put on a shirt that's, not drenched and coated in sweat. So luckily I wasn't smart enough to do that, but more than likely I'm probably gonna have to change this shirt and put another one on. So I would have worn 3 different shirts all within like 24 hours, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Okay. So with it being the summer solstice, that looks like a MetLife helicopter. If I were to guess, that helicopter is probably going to go land at the hospital. More than likely. Why? That's like some Sad Boy Hour song. I don't know who it is, but like, damn. But anyways, but yeah, anyways, with it being the summer solstice now, officially means that in terms of like the seasons, we're halfway done. Because yeah, spring's over. in a day to be riding your motorcycle, isn't it? At probably 6:30 in the morning. But anyways, today is also the start of the astrological sign of Cancer. God damn. And with me starting chapter 26 of my life a couple weeks ago, actually technically 19 days ago, so almost 3 weeks ago. Okay. I don't know what that was all about. Cop was crossing the, about to get on the overpass, had their lights on, shut them off, and then just that was weird. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, before I got distracted by all that, my birthday, which was, yes, I'm walking, Mom. No, I can't respond back to you because I'm recording. But, I had a really stressful and emotional second half of Gemini. And apparently like a week or two ago, I saw a TikTok saying that my birthday this year, June 2nd of 2025, was the halfway point between January 1st of 2000 and January 1st of 2050. I was like, holy Jesus. I was like, wow. I never would have thought I would be able to say that I'm old, ever. So, yeah, let's just say that the vast majority of the whole Gemini season was, hello, cat. Let's just say that the whole season of Gemini for me was kind of very chaotic. For better or worse. So, yeah. Well, if I go to the reunion, which I really want to, my sleep schedule is going to be kind of so I'm probably going to have to take a nap while I'm there, which is kind of weird, unless I take a nap as soon as we get home. Because here's the thing. They always eat at 12:30. And then probably around 1 or 2 in the afternoon is when they start doing like raffle tickets. I think it was 2 years ago, I won the 50-50. It was only like $120 some. And after all that, then that's when, everyone's talking or whatever. Then, they kind of relax and whatever. And then we start playing some bingo. Everyone expects me to call them out, which I don't know if I want to play bingo this year. Hell, they still got a lot of bingo prizes from last year. Because I remember them saying like, alright, let's make sure no one gets any bingo stuff, because we got a lot of bingo stuff, so we're gonna, save them for next year. I'm like, okay, cool. I just hope that everyone else remembered that. Usually when I go, I do make sure that I have a towel and swim trunks, because, on the off chance that I do, go swim. But it also depends on the weather too. And it also kind of depends on how far away. Like, we could be on the complete opposite side of the park, because the pool is like towards the center of the park, but more up front by the road. But yeah, that'd be good for when I do some like recording or whatever, like recording game footage or whatever. And speaking of which, I did get me some get me a wireless mic set that I can plug into my phone and have it clipped right here on my shirt. It comes, the adapter has a lightning cable for Apple. Well, like old school Apple now. Like everything from like 2015 to like maybe 2 years ago that has lightning cable. Has Type-C, because every major phone company, like manufacturer company, is using the Type-C. Although Samsung's been using it a lot more than Apple. Apple just recently changed it a couple years ago. And it has a output for an aux for like a PC or computer. So it's a good, easy mic I can have when I'm streaming on Twitch, which I have done a couple streams of that, and the sound quality comes out pretty damn good. If I say so myself. I don't know why there are a lot of cops out, which is weird. It's not the end of the month where they can, where they have to meet their quota. I don't know, half the time they pull people over just that way they can hit their quota. I don't know. But I see a lot of cops at the hospital. You have stadies up in there. You have sheriffs in there sometimes. You have city police. And then you have the occasional correctional officers from like a prison or something. Now, what are you stopping for me for? Okay, so it's probably close to quarter to 6, or quarter to 7, I should say. If it was quarter to 6, then I would be logging out and getting ready to get the hell out of work. But, yeah. So here's my thing with the whole mic set. The adapter, like the signaler or whatever, and the mics themselves are all Type-C import for like charging. And on the packaging it says that it's all supposed to last 7 hours. And also the funny thing is that, okay, so I ordered it off of Amazon, and I had it lightning shipped last week, and I had to pay a little extra for it, but I ended up spending maybe $40 on it, and I like it. One thing I do need to figure out is if I can like screen record something on like a game and then, well, yeah, and screen record the game, and then also have like commentary playing in the background too. So at some point I'm going to test that out. So I'm probably gonna play through Super Mario World, like at least beat the whole first world, because I can get the first world done in like 10 minutes. That world is so easy, but then again, it's world 1, and it's also my favorite Mario game. So why not test it out on a Mario game that I love playing? It's also the first game where, we get Yoshi. It's the first game where you can replay boss levels, like castle levels. Like you can go after the Koopalings multiple times. You can do all the Resner fights. So, yeah. So I could probably test run that. Okay, so if I do decide to go, meaning if I do decide to, completely mess up my entire sleep schedule this weekend, just only for it, what all am I going to take? Well, having both phones, of course, my PS4 controller, which is, hopefully it is charged. I do need to charge my AirPods. I'm gonna have to clean the inside of the case because my left AirPod apparently is not registering that it's charged or charging, that I found out. So I'm gonna have to check up on that. Okay, so yeah, I had a couple CTs last night, maybe 2 or 3 CTs. I had maybe 2 admits, and I had a floor. Which what we call floor-to-floor transfer, where you take a patient from one floor, or well, technically from one unit to another. That's, not the ER. Admit, of course, going from the ER to, a couple to any of the floors. Here's the thing, when it comes to floors that we are allowed to send patients to or go through or whatever, we, in terms of like departments to send patients to where the patients are, centralized at, the ER, 1 north, 2 north, ICU, although a nurse or someone would have to come with for one of those. ED, 1 north, 2 north, ICU, 2 south, 2 east, 3 east, and 4 south. Those 8 floors, if there's a patient that needs to be moved to a certain location, whether for a test or another floor, whether it be a floor transfer or an admit, any time of the day, fair game. Now, when it comes to psych ward patients, we only get those during certain hours and only if it's absolutely necessary. So far, there hasn't ever been a time where I needed to go back in there and get a patient for a test late at night. Which usually, if that were to happen, it would probably more than likely be towards the beginning of my shift. But so far, it's never happened for me. If I was doing the 5:30 shift, then yeah, we would definitely have at least maybe 1. But for nights, that hasn't happened to me yet. Although I'm sure it will eventually at some point or another. Okay. Alright, let me see here. Now when it comes to the morgue, because, you know, sometimes we have to take a dead body down to the morgue. I've only done that a few times, maybe once or twice during the late night hours, which is really, really creepy. Like, I think the only time I've ever had to do that one night was at like 3 in the morning. And it was creepy as hell. It made me feel some type of way being in the morgue at like 3 in the morning. Because it was like,